The Birth of Bond. How the hero of a cheap 1950s British spy novel became a cultural icon and a box office sensation.
The creator. Ian Fleming had many things in common with his literary creation, James Bond. He was a womanizer. He loved casinos and drank heavily. He enjoyed travel, and in the Second World War, he had been a naval intelligence officer, a commander just like Bond. The similarities, however, end there. Fleming's war experience was all in a London office, from where he managed Britain's secret agents. It was they who had the adventures, risking their lives by parachuting into occupied France. So, Bond was a fantasy figure for Fleming, a better-looking, tougher version of himself. But it was the details of Bond's character that he based on himself, his taste in clothes and wine, his opinions, his weaknesses, that truly made Bond three-dimensional.
The name. Fleming wanted his secret agent to be different from the sophisticated, upper-class heroes in previous spy novels. His spy would be a cold, violent alpha male, a blunt instrument in the service of the state. And so, Fleming needed a name that was neutral, unexceptional, and classless. Being an enthusiastic bird watcher, he decided to use one from an ornithological guide in his library, Birds of the West Indies, by James Bond. Fleming said that the name was brief, unromantic, Anglo-Saxon, and yet very masculine. Just what I needed.
The number. There are two stories about the origin of Bond's 007 agent number. In the 16th century, during the reign of Britain's Queen Elizabeth I, her personal spy signed his letters 007, meaning they were for her eyes only. Centuries later, during the First World War, 075 was the code given to a crucial secret German message that Britain intercepted and which changed the course of the war. So, although there were no 00 agents in the British Secret Services, Fleming would definitely have been familiar with 00 as a code for secret.
The success. Not everyone liked Casino Royale, Fleming's first Bond novel from 1954. The nastiest book I have ever read, one critic said. Even Fleming's wife called it cheap pornography. But the initial print run of almost 5,000 copies quickly sold out as the British public responded to Fleming's mix of sex, violence, and exotic travel. The Americans were less enthusiastic, until 1961, when Life magazine revealed that President Kennedy was a fan. Above all, it was the Sean Connery movies, starting in 1962, that turned the books into world bestsellers. Fleming was soon selling 27 million books a year in 18 languages. Sadly, he didn't live long to enjoy his success, suffering a fatal heart attack in 1964 at the age of 56. 60 years later, his hero is as popular as ever.